Tonight on CBC Vancouver News.
The warrant gives us authority to come onto the property.
This is so wrong. Look at me in my eyes.
Showdown on the farm. Supporters of hundreds of BC ostriches face off against police as officials prepare to kill the herd amid avian flu concerns. Plus,
I feel uncomfortable working for them.
international students claim a private BC college made them campaign for a political party for course credit. And
I'm confident that I have the confidence of the party membership to be able to go forward and defeat the NDP in the next election.
BC's opposition leader survives a leadership review by his own party, but other challenges and challengers may emerge.
This is CBC Vancouver News.
Hello, I'm Dan Burritt. Thanks for joining us. The battle over 400 ostriches said to be killed by Canada's Food Inspection Agency has come to an emotional head at a BC farm, where agents confronted the birds' owners, warrants in hand. The CBC's Brady Strachan was there.
One is for the main quarantine.
This is wrong.
A dramatic confrontation as the Canadian Food Inspection Agency issues a warrant
So wrong. Look at me in my eyes.
to take control of nearly 400 ostriches on this farm near Edgewood, British Columbia. The agency is assisted by dozens of RCMP officers who say they are here to keep the peace.
Support this operation safely to ensure public and officer safety while CFIA is conducting their business.
For nearly 10 months, owners of the Universal Ostrich Farm have been fighting to save their birds after 2 tested positive for avian flu and dozens died. The farm says the rest of the flock has been disease-free for more than 250 days and should not be culled, but rather studied to advance science against H5N1.
Policy is not law. It is meant to change. We have a broken and fractured policy within the Canadian Food Inspection Agency.
But several experts say there is little to be learned by studying the birds, and the CFIA's approach is the safest.
The risk that H5N1 presents is so serious, both to animal health, to the safety of the Canadian food supply, to our economy, and to human health.
As police officers moved in, emotions ran high. Owners are demanding the ostriches be retested for the disease. Jacinta D'Andrea once worked for the agency years ago.
And personally, I had to carry out destruction orders at my time with the CFIA, and it was a nightmare.
The owners are asking for time so they can file an appeal in Supreme Court, possibly their final hope for saving their birds. Brady Strachan, CBC News, Edgewood, British Columbia.
A pair of international students has come forward alleging a private BC college required them to campaign for a political party for course credit. The students say they door-knocked for Conservative MP Tamara Jansen during a by-election last year. And as John Hernandez reports, the school denies the allegations, saying the work was voluntary.
I feel uncomfortable working for them.
Eunice Capet's Canadian college experience didn't turn out how she thought it would. The international student from Thailand enrolled in a digital media course at Pacific Link College in Burnaby. In December, there was an abrupt change to the course curriculum.
We had to participate in the volunteer in Langley for the political party.
2 students came forward to CBC News alleging the school required their class to campaign for Conservative candidate Tamara Jansen during the 2024 by-election. Emails show the school directed them to work at the office for about 4 to 5 hours each day and take photos proving they were there.
We feel like it didn't relate to the study, and we didn't know why we had to do this for them. Yeah, we also didn't know who Tamara was.
Jansen's office says it was unaware of the incident. The school denied the allegations, saying in a statement, Pacific Link College occasionally receives volunteer opportunities from a variety of community and political organizations. Participation in any of these activities is entirely voluntary for our students. But email exchanges paint a different picture. A campus director told Capet the volunteer activity is a mandatory component of the course because it offers hands-on experience relevant to your learning objectives. Capet pushed back for 2 days, telling administrators, we are being forced to volunteer, and the tasks involve working for a specific political party. How can this be called volunteering? The director eventually gave the student permission to stop going, but said, quote, it is evident you cannot comprehend how beneficial this is for you in your journey to become Canadian, and even suggested a politician's recommendation can go a long way with an application for permanent residency.
That is a false statement.
This lawyer says that's not how PR applications work.
Getting a member of parliament or an MLA's letter of recommendation, for example, has absolutely no bearing on whether one qualifies for permanent residence.
They came here to get an education.
This advocate is representing a second student from the class who is seeking a tuition refund. They filed a complaint against the school, citing both the campaign work and poor quality education. The school has denied the allegations.
Coming into a new country and pushing back against an institution is usually quite the challenge.
Callan and Sadai say there needs to be better oversight of private schools so students don't get taken advantage of. The province wouldn't comment on the case, but said it can take action against schools if students are made to participate in activities that don't align with their education. John Hernandez, CBC News, Burnaby.
BC Conservative leader John Rustad is staying on after a review of his leadership after last fall's provincial election. The party says members voted 70% in favor of keeping him, but more challenges may be ahead. We spoke with our provincial affairs reporter Katie DeRosa earlier.
Well, a 70% vote in favor of Rustad's support, so that's well beyond the 50% threshold he had to clear. But I will note the voter turnout was just over 1,200 people who voted in this 4.5-month leadership review. That's out of 8,000 BC Conservative members. But we asked Rustad at a scrum just about 20 minutes ago what he thinks about that low voter turnout, if that still means he has the confidence. I asked him if he has the confidence of both the caucus and of party members.
I'm confident that I have the confidence of the party membership to be able to go forward and defeat the NDP in the next election. That's the last question. Sorry, guys, I've got to run.
We know there has been some internal infighting within the BC Conservative caucus, and this latest leadership review with the allegations of voter fraud have just exacerbated those divisions.
What is next then for the official opposition, Katie?
Well, we know that BC Conservative Caucus members, MLAs, will be meeting tonight in Victoria at 7 p.m. Presumably, they're going to talk about the results and how to go ahead going forward. But we know that there are some MLAs and BC Conservative members at large who are readying leadership reviews and are basically waiting to try and oust Rustad. So he said he's staying on his leader. He is confident, even with that turnout, that he has the backing of the party. And so we'll have to see if there's any basis for members who want him out to push him out.
All right. Katie DeRosa, our provincial affairs reporter in Victoria. Katie, thanks very much. Meanwhile, there is more developing news from the BC Conservatives. The party's caucus chair says Surrey MLA Eleanor Sturco has been kicked out of the Conservative caucus. Sturco was the opposition public safety critic, but the Conservative caucus chair, Jody Tour, says Sturco is now out. She would not say why Sturco has been removed. Sturco was first elected in 2022 as a BC Liberal, later renamed BC United, but last year she defected to the BC Conservatives and won re-election last year. A number of BC mayors are pushing for mandatory treatment for mental health and addiction as cities and towns meet for the annual Union of BC Municipalities convention. Our reporter Justin McElroy is there now. Justin, what was the biggest draw for this first day?
Yeah, Dan, there are so many different things that municipalities care about, but increasingly it's around these overlapping crises of mental health, crime, safety, housing affordability, homelessness. And in past conventions, while there may have been a split in terms of talking about whether the government's response to date has been appropriate, this time around it was very much in the face of believing that more has to be done and that the approach over the last decade has been insufficient. Julian Daly is the CEO of Our Place, a prominent Victorian nonprofit that operates shelters, and he had some strong words for the past approach today to 300 delegates.
But when the legal system doesn't support charges and there are seemingly no consequences for criminal activity, they feel powerless.
It's just one of many lines that he got that got applause during this. Certainly the tide turning with the public, as we saw in last year's provincial election, was so close. As this issue is more prominent in more cities across BC, it's increasingly been something where more municipalities pushing for change.
Speaking of Justin, municipalities have been talking a lot about this. Are there chances that things are going to change?
Well, you heard from one person from the provincial government today, their lead advisor on drug toxicity, saying that there's going to be more announcements on involuntary care and in more places in the province. And Leonard Croak, the mayor of Nanaimo, who has been pushing this for a long time, is certainly optimistic that will come to be.
The obvious severity of the cases on the street is just that. It is obviously severe, and I will get on my high horse and say it quickly because it's a last-minute topic. There has to be secure and voluntary care for a portion of our street population.
So we'll have to see, Dan, but the mood certainly around a lot of mayors in this province has shifted over the past couple of years. Today's convention made that very clear.
Justin McElroy, thanks very much. It's now calmer waters for BC Ferries after a weekend of cancellation and delays. As Alana Kelly reports, 2 mayors on the coast are calling for more ferry reliability.
Long lines and cancellations. That's what many people faced trying to get to or from the Sunshine Coast this weekend.
Oh, it's been pretty hectic here.
The cancellation started Saturday night and continued on Monday. An old vessel is to blame after an issue with the main engine's turbocharger.
The lot attendant started guiding cars out of the lot and back towards the highway and away from the terminal. And when we spoke to her, she just said that all the sailings had been canceled for the evening and we should rebook.
One Seashelt resident was stuck for hours waiting, trying to get home to their pets.
So we had to get ourselves a hotel for the evening and then came back Sunday morning very early in hopes that we could get on a sailing.
BC Ferries says it does not have additional vessels on standby, and it will continue to advocate for a full fleet renewal. In an email, BC Ferries says that this route is operating at an annual loss of nearly $30 million. Adding, beyond financial realities, service levels must also match demand and be scheduled to optimize use of ships, crews, and terminals. While we are committed to ensuring essential service, any expansion must be balanced against long-term sustainability, demonstrated demand, and operating constraints. Both mayors on the Sunshine Coast are calling for more reliable and consistent sailings.
BC Ferries drastically, just reduces that service level, cuts it in half suddenly on September the 1st. And not only do we get less service and ferries get delayed and people miss appointments, suddenly their lives turn upside down from what they've been accustomed to. But invariably now these breakdowns happen.
We need resilience, we need reliability, and there are ways of doing this. It may not be cheap, it may not be conventional, it may require changes in managers, it may require changes in operators.
And it's not just cancellations fueling frustrations.
The information we get from BC Ferries is unreliable. When I checked the app, which should be up to date, and that should be the place anybody should be able to go, it told me that there were ferries running.
For the people who live on the Sunshine Coast, they call the ferries a lifeline, and one they need to rely on. Alana Kelly, CBC News, West Vancouver.
Doris Madava here with a first look at the weather and a rainfall warning.
That's right. We've had that wind warning up in the Peace. That should be coming down pretty soon. Just a storm system moving over, bringing some strong winds. Where I really have my eye is that rainfall warning that you mentioned, Dan. Places like Bella Bella and other areas on the Central Coast getting up to 90 to 110 millimeters of rainfall from today through early tomorrow morning. And for those inland areas, 40 to 60 millimeters. So some very significant rainfall coming to this area. Just that stream of moisture, atmospheric river feeding into the area. Not expected to come really further south in Port Hardy, though.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Another contender enters the race for the mayor's chair in Vancouver. Why a former ally is up against Ken Sim. That's next. Vancouver police say a convicted sex offender who's been in and out of prison for assault and abducting a young child has been released from custody in the city. Police have issued yet another warning about Randall Peter Hopley. He was the subject of a 10-day manhunt and Canada-wide warrant last year. The 60-year-old is considered a high-risk offender who kidnapped a 3-year-old from a Sparwood bedroom in 2011. Hopley is under several court conditions, including not to be around children under 16. He also has a daily curfew. Police are asking anyone who sees Hopley breaching his conditions to call 911. BC Public Workers strike has now expanded into liquor and cannabis distribution warehouse. This is, I should say. As Pinky Wong reports, the BC General Employees Union announced its escalation in their job action.
Around 2,000 workers with BC LDB liquor and cannabis warehouses are walking off the job today. The BC General Employees Union escalated their job action to include liquor distribution centers here in Delta, Kamloops, Victoria, and Richmond, as well as their head office in Burnaby. He says more than 10,000 public service workers are now engaged in job action at 36 sites across the province.
We can bring our whole bargaining committee and we can come to a deal. But if government fails to and continues to refuse to negotiate, this is just the beginning.
The union says the warehouses distribute thousands of products to retail stores every day, including wine, specialty spirits, liquor, and ciders.
We can range from 60 to 120,000 cases a day moving out of the building. Starting today, they'll be missing getting their loads, absolutely. It would be all of our government stores as well as the privates. Whether it means it's going to be immediate impact, I doubt. They still have product in the stores, but as they sell through that, they won't be getting replenished.
The union says they have tried to minimize the impact to the public, but can no longer do so because the government has refused to come back to the table.
Today, the average civil servant in BC makes 2.7% less than the average wage. The liquor and cannabis distribution system and warehouse distribution system in the province of British Columbia will be on strike until government comes back to the negotiating table and we get a fair deal.
The union has asked for an 8.25% increase over 2 years, and the government has proposed a 4.5% increase. Pinky Wong, CBC News, Delta.
The next municipal election in Vancouver is still more than a year away, but already the palace intrigue is heating up. Longtime City Councillor Rebecca Bly was ousted from Ken Sim's governing ABC party earlier this year. But as Michelle Gassoub reports, she's now running to replace him.
I am running to be the next mayor of the City of Vancouver.
Rebecca Bly announcing she'll vie for Vancouver's top job.
And I'm doing it as the leader of a new party. Vote Vancouver.
Bly is a two-term councillor who was ejected from Mayor Ken Sim's ABC party back in February after saying the party had abandoned the principles that drew her to it.
You don't elect a mayor to fight petty battles or gamble tax dollars on Bitcoin.
But she says she still backs many of the promises she made when she ran alongside Sim.
I stand by most, if not all, of the platform that I ran on in 2022. I'm going to be the mayor that can actually deliver it.
Bly isn't the only former Sim ally now coming for his job. His former chief of staff, Kareem Allen, also announced he'll be running. And with multiple candidates in the race, it's already starting to feel like a campaign. One city quickly issued a statement saying Rebecca Bly voted to slash wages for workers, to block rental housing in wealthy neighborhoods, and to oppose common sense tools to properly fund our schools. One expert says Bly will have to work to differentiate herself from Sim.
At the same time, she's saying, well, I'm going to be quite similar, but I'm going to do it in a different way, perhaps truer to the original intent as she understood it. That's a narrow line to walk.
But she's also striking while the iron is hot.
So ABC does look vulnerable here, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see additional contenders step forward to try to win what is a really desirable position, which is to lead the city.
A race heating up, though Vancouverites don't go to the polls until October of next year. Michelle Gassoub, CBC News, Vancouver.
The view from 2,200 meters up at Whistler Blackcomb. Quite nice. Darius has your BC-wide provincial forecast next. A desperate search for a 5-year-old boy just across the Alberta border is now into its second day without any sign of the youngster. Aaron Collins filed this report from the Crow's Nest Pass with the latest information late in the afternoon.
The search for Darius McDougall continues in this rugged alpine terrain. The boy now missing for a day and a half here in the Crow's Nest Pass, just east of the BC-Alberta border. The 5-year-old went missing in the Livingston public land use area. His family camping on Crown land a few kilometers south of here. Investigators say Darius was out for a walk with siblings Sunday morning, but didn't come back.
Darius has autism. That may or may not be a factor in how this is played.
Dozens of search and rescue volunteers aided by drones and helicopters are combing the area.
The terrain is alpine mountainous terrain. It is very technical. As search and rescue had mentioned earlier, there are multiple creeks and rivers at play, including some beaver dams. Due to the complexity of that terrain, we need to make sure that we take our time and thoroughly go through.
Volunteers have conducted a search of the shorelines of those creeks, ponds, and rivers. They're now searching under the water too. And despite the fact that the search has entered its second day, rescue personnel remain optimistic.
We are very confident about a positive outcome. The weather is in our favor. The young man does not suffer from any health issues. There is no reason to believe that there will not be a positive outcome.
Officials here say that while autistic, the boy is verbal, a silver lining as this search continues. And despite the vastness of this region and the ever-expanding search area, officials on the ground say it's too dangerous to put a call out for untrained volunteers, holding out hope that the crews already here will soon find Darius McDougall. Aaron Collins, CBC News, near Coleman, Alberta.
In many ways, our next topic is redefining the way we live and seek advice. The proliferation of online information on everything from how to pair wine and cheese to how to treat cancer and other serious health issues. Now the Canadian Medical Association is calling on governments, doctors, and educators to do more to counter false medical information. Matthew Johnson is the Director of Education at MediaSmarts.ca. Matthew, thanks for joining us. MediaSmarts has been around since the internet became a household tool. You've been educating younger people how to stay safe online. How have the threats changed for people online now that medical information is more widely available?
Well, obviously, what's changed is now you can get information from anyone. And instead of having to go out and seek information, as we did in the past, it's coming to us constantly. So our job now is to tell the difference between reliable and unreliable information. And that means as well, there's a tremendous amount of money to be made by spreading mis and disinformation, and particularly, of course, around health and medicine topics where we have such strong feelings on our own health.
To that end, you have a new campaign called Break the Fake. What prompted that and what's it about?
Break the Fake is one of our first campaigns that is for general audiences, not just young people. It's for anybody, because all of us need to learn how to recognize and find good information and tell it apart from false information. So between our PSAs and the other material on our website, breakthefake.ca, we teach 4 quick and easy steps that anyone can take when they see something online that they're not sure is true. It's rarely is going to take more than 45 seconds or a minute to either verify or debunk something that you've seen.
Now, when it comes to this, the downstream effect, we've seen some cases, but what are the other real-life damages when people use or are falsely or intentionally misled by false medical information?
Well, obviously, when we're talking about health information, there are a lot of things that can go wrong. So first of all, you can be taking something that simply does nothing and you're spending money on it. But you may also be taking some medical advice or even taking some medicine that causes harm, because so often something that will treat one condition can be harmful in other situations. The dose makes the poison. The amount you're being given may be harmful. It can also cause people to not take treatments that are effective because they're being given false information. And of course, when it comes to public health, when it comes to something like vaccination, it can harm the entire population when we get below a certain level of herd immunity, where people who are unable to be vaccinated, either because they're too young, they're immune compromised, or other reasons, are no longer protected by the fact that most people have been vaccinated and so can't spread these illnesses that are vaccine preventable.
We certainly have heard that and seen that in the United States as well as in Canada when it comes to, for example, measles. Finally, we appreciate your time. What are some of those tips you give to people around filtering the fake information and real information, and where they can actually go to make sure that they're getting solid medical information beyond going to their doctor if they have one?
So the first is to use fact-checking tools. There are professional fact-checkers who will often have already confirmed or debunked something. We actually have on our website a custom search engine that searches more than 20 of these all at once. Another step is finding where something originally came from, because so often things come to us through our friends or other channels. Find out where something came from originally, and then if you don't recognize it as being a reliable or an unreliable source, do a little bit of research. Google it, check Wikipedia, see if it's generally seen as being a reliable source. And sometimes it may have been a reliable source in the past, but no longer is. And finally, check other sources that you know are reliable. If it's a news story, check to see if reliable news sources are covering it. If it's a health story, look places like the Canadian Medical Association, Health Canada, your provincial public health authority for accurate information.
Matthew Johnson with Mediasmarts.ca. We appreciate your time and perspective and expertise. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Without offering robust medical evidence to back up his claim, the Trump administration is creating a link between autism and Tylenol. Jennifer Yoon has more on what experts say about this move by the U.S. government.
U.S. President Donald Trump tying autism to pregnant women taking a common painkiller.
So taking Tylenol is not good. All right, I'll say it. It's not good. For this reason, they are strongly recommending that women limit Tylenol use during pregnancy unless medically necessary. So ideally, you don't take it at all, but if you can't tough it out, or if there's a problem, you're going to end up doing it.
But scientists say it's really hard to pinpoint one cause for autism. How do you rule out other factors that are in play, like genetics? The strongest study that we have on this looked at 2.5 million kids in Sweden. It was just published last year, and it tried to control for those other factors by including siblings who share similar genetic backgrounds.
There is no strong evidence to support that acetaminophen during pregnancy causes autism or ADHD or any other neurodevelopmental disorder.
Here in Canada, the Society of OBGYN says Tylenol is still considered generally safe in recommended doses for pregnant people, especially because it's one of the only painkillers that are considered safe generally for those who are expecting, and not treating pain or fevers can be harmful for the baby and the mother.
Pregnant women shouldn't feel guilty about using the medication. They shouldn't feel guilty if they did use the medication, in this pregnancy or a past pregnancy. So I think that you should always have a discussion with your healthcare provider if you're going to use a medication in pregnancy.
Dr. Smith is urging those who are expecting to talk to their doctors. Jennifer Yoon, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, American late-night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel will be returning to the airwaves Tuesday night. The Walt Disney Company says it's decided to suspend Kimmel's show because of comments in a monologue last week that it says were, quote, ill-timed and thus insensitive. Those remarks were related to Charlie Kirk's killing. The company now says it will return Kimmel to air after, quote, thoughtful conversations with him. Kimmel's suspension had prompted big concerns about free speech. Still, the Sinclair Broadcasting Company, which owns a number of ABC affiliates, says it will continue to preempt his show. Country after country is choosing this moment to officially recognize a Palestinian state as Israel continues to wage war in Gaza. And as Evan Dyer shows us, chief among them is Canada.
One after the next at the United Nations, countries, including Canada, laid out their reasons for recognizing Palestinian statehood.
The current Israeli government is working methodically to prevent the prospect of a Palestinian state from ever being established.
Mark Carney alongside several other Western nations who made their own statements before the UN.
Nous sommes là car le temps est venu.
The time has come, said French President Emmanuel Macron, joining a wave of other nations, including from the European Union and the Arab League.
I told them that when they voted on this resolution, that it's a theater.
Israel and the U.S. stayed away. Most nations recognizing Palestinian statehood said they were motivated by the conclusion that the Israeli government doesn't intend to make peace or share the land.
That is the policy of the current Israeli government, and their actions are consistent with that policy.
This comes as Israel's war in Gaza escalates with the systematic demolition of homes, schools, water systems, and medical facilities. And in the West Bank, the Israeli army and settlers are also on the offensive, while the Israeli government announces new settlements. Israeli ministers continue to talk openly about the removal of all Palestinians from both territories. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he would take concrete steps to respond to the recognitions when he returns home from New York. Some have interpreted that as a threat to formally annex all or part of the West Bank.
I have been clear to the Israeli Foreign Minister, we have been clear to the Israeli government that they must not do that.
Mark Carney also said Canada would be willing to contribute peacekeepers to a mission in a future Palestinian state. But of course that envisions an end to the war that is still underway. Evan Dyer, CBC News, New York.
Well, as we heard, Israel is strongly criticizing the decision by Canada and other countries to recognize a Palestinian state. Sasha Petrusek has the latest from Jerusalem.
There certainly seems to be a feeling of frustration here in Israel and a tone of anger, especially from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, as he watches a growing list of countries recognize a Palestinian state, something that he has been discouraging for some time and now rules out entirely as ever happening here. Further, he is saying that Israeli settlements, which are in the West Bank, the occupied West Bank, and have been growing on a steady basis over the past months and years, are going to keep growing and will expand. The U.S. and Israel are two of the countries that won't be at the conference today, and they, in fact, are working together. The U.S. provides a great deal of money and weaponry to Israel, but beyond that, it is really the only country that has the political and diplomatic clout to stop or slow down things that Israel has been doing, both in Gaza and in the occupied West Bank. And U.S. President Donald Trump is not doing that. Now, there is supposed to be a meeting between Netanyahu and Trump in the United States during this UN session when Netanyahu goes there, and that may well determine whether Israel goes ahead with plans or ideas to annex more parts of the occupied West Bank, perhaps all of it, or whether the U.S. will offer some sort of caution against it. Netanyahu has said that he will make a final decision as to where Israel is going and what kind of policies it will support as a result of this backing from the international community for a Palestinian state when he comes back from the United States later this week. Sasha Petrusek, CBC News, Jerusalem.
Swimming in False Creek? A new study looks at cleaning up the popular downtown waterway. You'll want to see and hear this. Stick around. For years, Vancouver's Falls Creek has been plagued with pollution problems. But a new project is hoping to combat that by studying the water quality for the next 2 years. As Saurabh Sandhu reports, researchers say it's a vital step in the face of climate change.
Victoria Coast Guard Radio, Victoria Coast Guard Radio.
Zeta Snyder has spent years on the water of Vancouver's Falls Creek, and for him, the protection of these waters and the ecosystem is paramount.
It's a peninsula, and that has been really a challenge to making sure that we can keep the water clean because everything that comes into it basically stays here.
Schneider's group is partnering with BC's Rain Coast Conservation Foundation to study the water quality in Falls Creek, along with Metro Vancouver and the city. The regional district says Falls Creek is impacted by a range of environmental challenges, including pollution from urban development, sewer overflows, and rainwater runoff.
Everything that's on the roads, especially during big rainstorms, goes into storm sewers. And the storm sewers, for the most part, just, flush into Falls Creek.
Over a course of 2 years, Metro Vancouver staff and volunteers will collect samples from multiple locations within the creek.
We can imagine that some of the stressors are going to be related to humans, pharmaceuticals and bacteria coming from human wastewater.
Derelict boats in Falls Creek has also been a growing issue for years, which Ross says can lead to even further water pollution.
We are concerned there might be a lot of hydrocarbons from oils on vessels that leak.
He says the study will help understand the scale of human footprint and will help shape conservation strategies for the future.
High quality data that gives us insight into the priorities and problems that Falls Creek faces gives us a chance to design programs to restore that body of water to its former glories.
Howdy!
Schneider believes the restoration of these waters is crucial as extreme weather events like heat domes become more frequent with climate change.
We need sanctuaries, heat sanctuaries. Can you imagine what it would be like if young people could come and freely play in the water?
Metro Vancouver says the findings of the study will be shared publicly once the project is complete in 2027. Saurabh Sandhu, CBC News, Vancouver.
Well, as we told you, fall is now officially here, and Environment Canada is warning people on the coast to expect above-average precipitation in the coming months. As Michelle Morton explains, the District of North Vancouver says it's been busy preparing for storm season after record rainfall triggered a local state of emergency last year.
Officials in the district say they've learned a lot since last October's storm event.
You refer to that as a 1 in 200 year event.
6 properties in Deep Cove were ordered to evacuate after officials declared a state of emergency. That was after an atmospheric river swept through the region, causing major damage in the community. And Cohen says since then, they've been making improvements to protect the area.
Storing some of our channels and creeks and clearing debris. And we've also looked at other opportunities of how can we improve our infrastructure to better drain our natural creek system as well.
This comes as Environment Canada warns of more wet weather in its seasonal outlook for this fall due to a marine heat wave in the North Pacific.
There's a higher precipitation expected with higher moisture flux coming into the atmosphere associated with this warm ocean temperatures in the North Pacific.
Loney anticipates a shift in the weather in late October, but says it's too soon to predict just how much rain southern BC and the coast could see.
Our specialty, of course, is predicting from 1 to 10 days out in the future. And we're not seeing anything right now that's suggestive of that.
The River Forecast Center says while it's early, there are ways to plan ahead and prepare for the upcoming wet months.
We're not seeing the leaf off yet, but when we get to that stage, keeping catch basins and sort of drainage infrastructure in urban areas, keeping those clear is helpful.
And he says now is a good time to brush up on emergency plans. Michelle Morton, CBC News, Vancouver.
Darius Madavi here with the BC-wide weather forecast. But first, we've got to talk about a hurricane in the Atlantic.
That's right. This is Hurricane Gabrielle. This is a major hurricane, Category 4, just upgraded a few hours ago. Fortunately, very far out in the Pacific. But you can see how well defined the eye of that storm is. Lots of convection in here. Good indication of how strong it is. If we zoom out, though, again, you can see how far away it is from land. It is passing quite close to Bermuda. There we've seen some strong swells, but so far staying offshore, or it will stay offshore from Bermuda. Some strong winds being felt there, though. If we take a look at the forecast track, coming nowhere near Atlantic Canada, but still a strong enough storm. Wind gusts up to, you can see here, 270 kilometers per hour, pushing a lot of that water. Means that we are seeing will see some strong swells across parts of the U.S. East Coast and up into Atlantic Canada. I think the big worry with this storm, though, is going to be what happens as it continues to move east. Because as you can see here, if we move over, maintaining hurricane status quite far over the Atlantic. And then as it drops into being just a post-tropical storm heading towards Europe, probably going to see some strong winds, major rainfall events as that storm makes its way over there. Now, let's turn our attention to over here in BC. Not a hurricane by any means, but lots of moisture being packed by this system that is moving in. That's why we have those rainfall warnings in place for the Central Coast. If we let this roll forward, you can see some of that moisture heading down towards the North Island area. So tonight, probably looking at 40 to 60 millimeters, 20 to 40 millimeters for Port Hardy. Inland areas of the Central Coast, 40 to 60 millimeters. And that next wave of precipitation doesn't arrive until the end of the week. That's really our first chance for some rain here in Metro Vancouver and across more southern parts of Vancouver Island. We can see that here on this map. You can see that precipitation heading down, but then really just moving through parts of the Caribou and then fizzling out. The next chance for real rain doesn't come, again, to southern BC until Friday, the weekend, around there, maybe Thursday night. For now, nothing really to worry about there. In terms of temperatures, those are also remaining fairly consistent. Tomorrow's likely our peak in parts of the southern interior. Then temperatures start to moderate again, not getting anywhere near that 30 degrees that we hit earlier this week. Last week. And here's our forecast, Dan. We got a little bit of bad air quality in some parts down by the surface, but for the most part, we're just looking at that rain on the coast. And in terms of a 5-day forecast, again, plenty of sunshine this week, but temperatures do come down around Thursday.
Okay, we are into fall. Thank you, Darius.
Thank you.
Big changes on the gridiron are coming to Canadian football. We'll tell you about the moves and why after this. As we told you earlier, Surrey MLA Eleanor Sturco has been kicked out of the BC Conservative caucus. The caucus chair confirmed her removal earlier this afternoon. Sturco herself spoke with reporters just a few moments ago. She says she did not see her removal coming.
My office will be open to handle their concerns in the constituency, and I'll find a path forward. Whatever that looks like, I'm not sure right now, but there'll be a path forward.
Were you blindsided by this?
Absolutely blindsided, yes. And I can tell you that, if his fear was that I was going to bring forward, questions, for example, saying that there was paper memberships, when in fact the report that we saw said there wasn't. Things like that. If he was worried about that coming forward, there's other people in that room that will be asking those questions, I'm sure.
Sturco was first elected in 2022 as a BC Liberal. She then defected to the BC Conservatives last year and won re-election in the new riding of Surrey Cloverdale. Her removal from caucus comes on the same day that the party announced that John Rustad secured the leadership review with 70% of the votes cast. Well, changes are coming to the Canadian Football League starting next season.
The modifications are meant to make games more consistent across different fields. As Thomas Dagler tells us, the new style won't replace everything that sets it apart from the NFL.
Canadian football is set to look a little more American, with the CFL announcing adjustments, bringing the league more in line
Touchdown, first of the day, and the Niners lead.
with its mega popular rival, the NFL.
These types of idiosyncrasies have been in our game for a long time, but that doesn't have to be the case.
The changes will mean the CFL playing field gets shorter, down to 100 yards in length, just like the NFL. The end zones will be cut from 20 to 15 yards, but the Canadian field keeps its unique width, still 65 yards and wider than in the American game.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns and referee on the night.
The most visible change, though, comes to CFL goalposts, soon moved to the back of the end zone, just like south of the border.
To what extent are these changes due to the popularity of the NFL in Canada?
Absolutely no percentage of these changes were made because of any type of comparison to the NFL.
You don't want to just stand still and become stagnant, right? And so they're making changes that will augment the league.
Canadian gridiron purists took to social media, declaring tradition was just thrown out the window, and what made the CFL unique is no more.
It Americanizes the game. We're converging. You can see that the stage is being set for further convergence with American leagues.
Even the uniquely Canadian single-point rouge will see changes, making it less likely. All of it intended to drive a more exciting game that now often appeals to an aging audience.
And it's changed that if this league is to remain relevant, particularly with Gen Zs, it has to do this.
The tweaks won't come into effect this year, but will be phased in by 2027. The league expects the changes to the goalpost alone will lead to an extra 60 touchdowns per season. Thomas Dagg, CBC News, Toronto.
You're a big CFL fan?
Indeed. These would be interesting changes. Also a big NFL fan, so we're going to have to see how this all irons out. Yes, purists versus some concerns about the long-term viability of the league. Going to be interesting. There you are.
Was irons out a pun?
Probably.
Gridirons out.
There
Nice.
you go. Hey, nicely done.
Thanks for being with us tonight on CBC Vancouver News at 6. You can watch this newscast on CBC Gem, YouTube, and our website.
And we'll have your next local news at 11 o'clock right after the National. Have a good night.